There were a lot of rumors, Elite XC is folding, it's going, and then some people were going to have their contracts bought out. What was that period of time in between where you knew Elite XC's future wasn't looking very good, but you didn't know where you were going to be fighting next? Talk to me about your mentality. You just keep getting to the gym and training?
It was tough, man. I was after my Phil Baroni fight, which was the first time the sport was on national television. CBS. It was the #1 rated, #1 watched MMA show of all time. And to be a part of that was great. I got some great exposure from it. I felt like things were looking up. Elite said, hey, we're going to have a show at the Pit in Albuquerque. They had me do a press release, and I was supposed to fight here in the Pit in September, and everybody was getting excited. I was getting excited, and then they scratched it and said, we want you to fight for the title against Robbie Lawler in November, and I was training my ass off, and 3 weeks before the fight, they went down, and it was an unfortunate situation. I was really, really upset, People don't understand, the way the economy is going and the way it's been the last year and a half, 2 years. As an athlete and an entertainer, I didn't think it was going to affect me, but sure enough, found myself without work for a whole year, and it sucked, man. It really sucked. Because I live off of my paychecks when I fight, so it kind of sucked, but I made it through, and Strikeforce bought the contract about 3 or 4 months ago, and they finally got me on a card, and they have me anchoring it, so I'm just glad to get back in there and just honored to be the main event.
What can fighters or promoters do to help increase the integrity of the sport of MMA?
Well, I think I think the promoters are doing a decent job now. I think that, but you have the Ultimate Fighter, and you have some guys being goofballs, and that's just entertainment. That's just, I don't think it's ever going to change. It's the entertainment value that people want. People love reality TV. You know what I'm saying? And the great thing about our sport is that the athletes really put it on the line, and the fans can actually get a lot closer to us than they can any other athlete. You can't ever see no Kobe Bryant out in public. You can't ever see no Shaquille O'Neal. You can't ever see these people in public, but you can run across us in public and shake our hands, take our photos, and people actually build a bond with their fighters, and then all the entertainment value to it. So I think that it's just more for the fans, and some fighters will always be big mouths and loud, and some fans will be vocal and disrespectful at times, but that's just the bottom line to the entertainment business,
So you fought for, let's go down the line, King of the Cage, Pride, now coming up, Strikeforce.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3, pretty well known.
Elite XC. IFC, which back in the day was pretty big, So I've fought on some 5, and then I fought in the Deep in Japan also, which is real similar to Pancrase. So I've fought in 7 big organizations, but most of my career has been underground, and that's fine with me.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to ask you, how does that make you feel? Diego gets discovered, goes the Ultimate Fighter. He's the Ultimate Fighter 1 alumni. Every household name. How does it really make you feel to be flying?
I made some decisions along the way, and Diego and I were both going to go on the Ultimate Fighter. A lot of people don't realize that me and him were going to both go together as teammates, and we obviously didn't know how it was going to turn out, but I was offered a championship fight with King of the Cage, and I decided to go this route. Now, my dream was to fight in Pride at the time, so
okay.
I really loved Pride, and the UFC's great also, but I chose to go to pursue that dream and go international and go Pride,
Right.
And so I made that decision not to go the Ultimate Fighter, thank God that Diego went and that he performed the way he did, and he actually put our team on the map, and then the next year with Keith and Rashad. So it's pretty obvious that Ultimate Fighter helped us out tremendously, but it was a gamble, and I just chose to go the other route, and that was pursue my dream in Pride.
And you said that you were really interested in going to Japan and going to Pride. Would you say that maybe back when Tough first started that that Pride did kind of was an echelon above UFC at the time back in the day?
You know, I think that they're real similarly close, you know, but I just love the fights that Pride put on. I really love the freedom of knees and kicks to the head on a grounded opponent. I just really love the freedom of their rules, you know what I'm saying? And you can actually literally give 100% without feeling like you're gonna foul somebody. So I really love, I really love that you can bomb a knee or a head kick at any time. You can just really be free with your fighting style. So really, I had the opportunity to do it, man. It was fun and it was great, you know. But you know, now it's America. America's the #1 MMA mecca, you know, and Albuquerque and Jackson's and Winklejohn submissions is the best in the world. So it's just an honor. I'm just glad to be a part of this of the uprising of MMA.
How long do you think it's going to be before you have a shot at the Strikeforce title?
Well, you know, the middleweight division kind of did a turn at last Strikeforce event with Jake Shields and Nick Diaz beating Scott Smith and Robbie Lawler. So I think that jumps me up a couple of spots, you know, and I was Elite's #1 contender at the time they folded, you know. So, you know, right now whoever and however, I'm just glad that I got this fight, and I definitely want to be champ, and I want to leave a legacy behind, and you know, I'm just real excited to get back in there, and if they want to put me at #1 contender, or if they want to put me second rank, it doesn't matter, you know. Eventually I'm going to get to that spot, you know, and a lot of hard work and effort and training is going to get me there. So it's just a matter of time, you know. So if it's a fight or two away, well then so be it.
Talk to me about what that word means to you, legacy, you know, a 10-year-long career of fighting at the highest echelons.
Well, you know, I used to just do this sport for fun, you know. It was a hobby. I had a full-time job, and fighting was a hobby and something I loved to do and compete, and eventually it turned into my job, which is crazy. I get to do something I love and get paid for it, you know, and I was looking at it like that, you know, but then I had a couple of losses and you know, realized that, you know, those are losses that I could have easily have turned around and had them be wins, you know. It's been a big process here in Albuquerque in our gym, you know, to getting to be the best. It's been a long process, and you know, it ain't no spit in the can no more, man. I want to leave behind a legacy. I want people to recognize my family's last name, and I want to be respected as one of the toughest and best fighters out there. You know, I want to be remembered for always having grit and heart, and you know, that's what legacy means to me. You know, it's not about being and holding the championship belt all the time. It's about never backing down, showing people your heart, and just you know, having people remember that you put it on the line all the time.
That sounds like a good note to end it on, Joey. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Man, I appreciate it.
In the cage.